In this video, we're going to focus on some of the workflow aspects of the Havila Corp Enterprise Land Manager. And specifically, we'll go through the work report process. Now, in order to do this, of course, we need to renew some claims. And we have a whole variety of claims in here. Now, one of the great things about HELM is I can change the filter and I can change some of the information that it's going to show me. So I'm going to set the land unit type to claim here. I'll click Apply Filters, and we can see the grid at the bottom updates. So again, we can see the reference number, the status, the anniversary, but on top of that, we can now see the work required, as well as reserve and the number of claim units. Now we need to pick a couple of claims. So I'm going to take a look at claims 105, 7519, 21, 22, as well as 86. So all of these claims are due in the next couple of years, and we've done some additional exploration work, and we want to move things ahead. So I'm going to go to my workflow section in order to renew these, and I've got the whole variety of workflows here. Specifically, we're going to look at the work report right now. So effectively, what this is going to allow us to do is create the 0241E work report so that we can submit our exploration work and our exploration dollars, and we can apply those credits to the claims in the case of getting additional reserve, but also to move those anniversary dates ahead. So in order to do this, I'm going to click New Work Report. And we'll call this a video work report for lack of a better name. Click that in the description as well. Now, one of the key pieces that we need to do here is pick the land units that we actually did the work on. So in the first step, we pick these 4 land units because these are the 4 claims that we've actually done the work on. So we did some diamond drilling or some assay work or geophysical survey work, what have you. And I click Next. Now we add the work elements exactly as we would break them down on the work report. So I could take an 0241E form and I could see this exact information. I'm going to add some new work costs. So we'll say the drilling program started on February 17th, or our program started on the 17th and it ended on the 21st. Now it's going to be an awfully quick drilling program, but it will work for us. So we'll say we've done some diamond drilling and measured in meters, and it's we charged $100 a meter is what it costs us for a total cost of $10,000. Now these numbers are artificially low, but for an example, this should work. And because we've done it within the past 2 years, we can get the full amount. So the time adjusted cost is 100% as well. Now HELM does account for the time adjusted cost if you do need to incorporate that. Just going to click Next. Now what I want to do is I want to pick the 4 different land units or the land units that I actually did the work on here. So maybe I could say I only actually drilled on these 2, and so I wouldn't pick the other 2, and I could distribute those drilling dollars amongst the claims or the patents or the leases in whatever way that I want to. I'm going to say that in this particular work program, we in fact drilled on all 4 of these individual claims. Click Next. The next thing we need to do is distribute or proportion the work across these 4 different land units. So I could say, 35% on this one and 50% of the drilling occurred on that one. For simplicity, I'm just going to click my Distribute Evenly. It's going to assign 25% of the drilling to each one of these land units. The dollars, $2,500 on each, which gives me a total work value. So the $2,500 of drilling on each one of these land units. Click Finish. So I can continue doing this. I can add as many different work costs as I need. I can add as many different associated costs as I need, transportation costs and food and lodging costs. It all works exactly the same way. So in this case, for this example, we have a total value of assessment work of $10,000. I'll click Next. The next step is to pick the land that we actually want to renew. So again, I'm going to pick the same 4 just for simplicity's sake, but this could be, you could pick 15, 20, 30 different claims, as many claims as you need that you want to renew. All of them obviously need to be continuously contiguous and so on. But I'll just pick these four just for simplicity's sake. So I just click Next. Now we get to what we call the allocator screen. And the allocator screen is a fantastic tool to distribute the money from the land that we did the work on to the claims that we want to renew. So we can see here the four different claims. The work required is $400. They're all 1-unit claims. And I have nothing allocated in the context of this particular work report. They're also renewed until 2018. Now we've got these little bubbles, so the little bubbles will show what's been applied and assigned. And I have bubbles on this side as well, so I can see here that this is a claim, it's 1 unit. I've applied no money, I've assigned no money, and I have a present work assessment or assignment of no dollars as well. Now this one, we can see the total allocated is already $1,600. So here we can see that in the course of the anniversary year, because this is a claim, we have a present work assignment of $1,200. What this is telling us is that in a prior work report or credit distribution report, we've already moved off $1,200 from this particular claim. The total allocated is $1,600. So we've actually allocated $1,600 from this particular claim to other claims. $400 of that clearly was assigned back to itself because it's not accounted for in the present work assignment. What I'll do here is I'll just click on this one, so 1057521, and I want to take money from it, and I want to renew these four. So I will transfer $400 from this claim to these four. You'll see that the renewed until will be pushed ahead by 1 year. So I allocate. Now the renewed until is 2019, 2019, 2018, and 2020. So all of those have been moved ahead by 1 year. I can see the total allocated is $1,600. The available now is $900. And if I hover over this, I can see that $400 has been applied to that claim. $1,200 has been assigned from it to others, giving us a present work assignment on that claim of $1,200. Now I can continue doing this, and I can renew these claims out to the 5+1 years into the future, but we'll stop there just for example's sake. So once I finish the allocation, I can click Next, and I get the summary report for the 6A and the 6B. So we can see here we didn't pick any patents or leases or any of those land types, so the 6A is blank, but we can see in 6B the work performed, the credits applied, the credits assigned, so we can see that we applied $400 to every single one of those claims, and we assigned $1,200 from claim 21 to the other three. It also gives me an indication of the reserve that's going to be added. So $2,500, $900, $2,500, $2,500 to those claims once the work report is approved. So let's click on Save and Finish here. Now we get to the point where the work report is in what we call a filed status. I can go back, edit, I can approve it, I can download the form, but most importantly, let's look at the filed status and let's download the form. So HELM actually generates the form for us. So I'm just going to open up the PDF document. And I can see after the PDF document has been opened, we can see the submitter, so we auto-populate Festus Arbuckle. The street, our client number, MNDMF client number, the work performed from, the work performed to. We could also see the work dates. So remember the drilling program was from February 17th to February 21st. It was diamond drilling. All of this is pre-populated for you by HELM. If we had associated costs, food and lodging costs, that information would be there. I can select what I've done. So I could say I've done diamond drilling, in this case, on the form. I could indicate a few other pieces. 6A is blank, but 6B is pre-populated for us, just like it was on that screen. So we showed the summary screen, but we actually also populate the form for you. So you can see the form right here with all of the relevant pieces of information, as well as what's going to go into the bank. Now going back to HELM, we'll go back to the land units. And again, we'll filter on the land unit type. So we'll go to Claim, apply the filters. And we can see that the 4 claims have been set to pending renewal status and the dates have not been moved ahead. So this is a key piece. What's happened is we've submitted the form to the government, and so they're in a pending renewal status, but it hasn't been approved, so the dates have not been moved ahead. In order to approve that, I come back into the workflows, go back into the work report, and I can see here I've got an approve button. By clicking approve, HELM will automatically set the land units back to active status, though I could override that if I want. Shows me the previous anniversary and the new anniversary date, the previous reserve, and the reserve that it's going to add in the new reserve. So we had $10,000 in reserve on this claim. It's going to add $2,500, giving us a reserve of $12,500. I key in the M&DM transaction number, and I'll call this a W video report, but I put in the proper transaction number. I click Save and Complete. And now if I go back to the land units, and again I'll filter on claims. I can see these 4 have been set back to active, and the reserve values have been increased as well. I'm just going to click Edit here on this one particular claim. So we're just going to bring up this claims information. We'll take a look at the transaction log. And we can see on the transaction log everything that's occurred. So the work report, the work applied on that wvideo.report that we just finished was $400, and the work performed was $2,500. So we capture the major events as well. So that's a quick overview of the work reporting process inside of HELM.